So I'm Joel. I work for a company here in Stockholm called Klarna. And for this conference, we built an app called BikeShed. So BikeShed is a game about JavaScript. It's written in JavaScript, and it runs on tvOS. So I think Farouz mentioned bike-shedding before. But if you don't know what it is, it's basically the process where you obsess about minor things that are really important to your projects. It's kind of trivial. And it could be, should you use semicolons or not semicolons? Should you use tabs or spaces? And these are not something that's right or wrong, it's more opinion. And so you generally don't want to spend too much time about talking about these things. So the idea of the game is that you would have like two buttons where you just smash, and then whoever wins, that's where you commit to, and the other one just has to deal with it. So we want to present this on a TV. So we figured, let's build this for tvOS. So on tvOS, if you want to build something in JavaScript, there's only really one option. So we decided to use React Native, which is also one of my favorite frameworks. And one difference between the web, for example, is it has this remote. But interfacing with this remote is fairly simple. You just attach this event listener, and you get the stream of events, and you can attach your swipe up and down to change the next question, for example. And then we wanted to kind of illustrate whoever wins in a nice way. So we decided we should make the background color kind of adapt to whoever wins. So right now, the top left corner is winning. And to do this in React Native, we can use the animated API, which is a nice declarative API. So one drawback with this API is that it doesn't have support for origin, so we kind of had to emulate that with translate. The next problem was dealing with input. So we bought these, or we ordered some buttons that are like USB arcade-like buttons. But like the day before the conference, they hadn't arrived. So we got a problem. And I just scrambled online. I found this company in Stockholm called Flick, who made really nice buttons. They're Bluetooth. I was like, yay, they have an iOS SDK that I just assumed would work. Turns out it doesn't, because it's Apple TV, and you need to have this app, which doesn't work. So I was like, yeah, well, this is just Bluetooth LE. I can kind of reverse engineer this and implement this myself, which is also a wrong assumption, because they had some proprietary handshake. I was able to kind of actually detect how you can see prices and that kind of stuff. So their support weren't really responsive, so I kind of dug up this kid on GitHub in the Git logs. So I emailed him like, how can we solve this? Maybe I can get like the secret code to do the handshake. He was like, no, but I can get you this. So you take your Flick, you get a Raspberry Pi from me, and you pair this with the Raspberry Pi, but the Raspberry Pi needs internet access. So you need to connect this via Ethernet to a 3G router that gets the keys from the internet. And then you set up the router with the Apple TV over Wi-Fi, and then you have a WebSocket server in the Raspberry Pi. And that will just work. And I was like, that feels like slightly over-engineering. He was like, trust me, I'm an engineer. And it actually works pretty well. So we had this is how it looks in the game. And we actually had one couple fight for 42 minutes over React versus Angular. And Angular won, to be sorry. So come fight with me, make sure everybody uses semicolons from now on. Thank you.